Around the year of 1870, the iconic neighborhood of Pleasant Hill, a predominantly all-black society, was established in Macon, Georgia, and was approximately 1 square mile in size. Pleasant Hill residents consisted of property owners, doctors, dentists, educators, attorneys, businessmen, grocers, and ministers. It is also the former home of rock stars and musicians such as Little Richard, who not only was renowned for his musical talent and his 3 best-selling records, but also because of his persona and his way with words. Today, Pleasant Hill is bisected by the junction of I-16 and I-75, causing a division between racial relations on both sides of the interstate. To the right of the highway, a greatly diverse racial population rests. To the left lies the historical site of the Booker T. Washington Community Center. The community center continues to act as a safe haven to the population of Pleasant Hill today. The neighborhood consists of a majority African American population, rather than the one-story L-shaped Victorian cottages with simple porches found in the section of Pleasant Hill to the right of the Interstate Division today. The Pleasant Hill neighborhood of Macon, Georgia was an area of residence for affluent African Americans who desired to play an important role in the city of Macon during the late 19th century. After many random fire outbreaks in the late 1800s among the Pleasant Hill district and surrounding areas, some residents desired to establish a fire department, originally designed to protect the homes of African Americans, but later expanding to protect the homes of whites near their district, if they were willing to help fund the organization. With the destruction of many homes and low funds, the relations between the two races throughout the process appeared to be encouraging and dependent because although the blacks needed the white support to fund for the fire department, the white population was also willing to assist in purchases for the organization if in return they were granted safety against fire outbreaks in Macon neighborhoods. It is also evident that throughout this process, the Pleasant Hill economy was developing independently, increasing the residents' ability to contemplate funding and construction for their wanted fire department. Throughout this same time period, the residents of Pleasant Hill established a new religion with an inclusion of both blacks and whites in this church, kissing and washing each other's feet regardless of what race each individual was. It was considered a new religion because there were no defined color lines, and the church, known as the Church of God, accepted anyone with a desire to worship among both races, which expressed a growing relationship between both African Americans and whites among this section of Pleasant Hill. Although Pleasant Hill strived for a new religion and an integrated fire department, the schools in this district were greatly segregated, with a different board of directors for the colored schools and a clear purpose in defining race when accepting blacks into colored schools only. Even with negative racial relations, the economic development in this area was evident in the white schools, receiving new school books, refurbished desks, and clean supplies, yet the colored schools were forced to keep the old, torn books and broken desks and materials with no funds great enough to replace these necessities. The motto of separate but equal was never fully obtained in these schools. During the late 1800s, a proposed annexation of the Pleasant Hill section to the city of Macon was greatly opposed by the African Americans living in this district of the town because they feared that their rights of owning cows and hogs would be stripped, and they did not want to be forced into paying high taxes to the government. The race relations between the blacks and the whites in this area appear to be distant. Although in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Pleasant Hill was a renowned all-African American neighborhood with a desire of equal rights, economic development, and encouraging race relations. Today it rests as an area of diverse racial population with a majority of African Americans on one side of the I-16-I-75 interstate junction and an established community center hosting well-attended events and remaining as a safe haven for members of the Pleasant Hill community.